Hey everybody, welcome to week 6. Week 6 means we are almost at the end. Light at the end of the tunnel is super bright right about now, so hopefully you're excited about that. And the best part about this term is that, and I always tell my students this, is that when the term is over, there's like not that much time before Christmas. So it's kind of like a double whammy of awesomeness. You finish the term and boom, you got the Christmas season upon us. So that's kind of nice. I hope you're looking forward to finishing this up, getting one of these terms under your belt and having some time off, relaxing a little bit. Look, you've earned it, you deserve it. So I hope you really have some good time with family and with friends and enjoy yourself a little bit and maybe put school on the back burner for just a little bit. Make sure that you put it back on the front burner when January comes around. So this week, we're continuing on with Microsoft Excel. So remember last week we talked a lot about those charts and graphs and how do we develop them from tables. I think a lot of you got a lot out of that. Now this week, as you probably already know, since it's Wednesday, we're switching our focus to formulas and functions. Now I already posted one video on formulas and functions, and I'm going to try to do another one, if not today, maybe tomorrow, on more complex formulas and functions. So we started with some basic stuff like the sum function and how does it look and how can you even write them yourself. I think we focus on the average function as well. So I want to try to do something a little more specific, kind of another step into greater detail, and that's going to be with the if functions. And these are logical functions. So if a certain thing or a certain chart or a certain cell has this, then something will happen to it. You can actually write formulas. For instance, if I'm doing a grade chart or something and I have students whose grades fall below 65, I can actually write a formula so that any one of those grades will be colored red, just to make it kind of easier for me to see or something like that. So there's all manner of different kinds of things you can do there. We're just going to be scratching the surface. It's going to be really up to you to try to find some more information about this and to really just kind of play with these things, because believe me, if you know these things, they are golden on the job. They really are going to be very, very helpful. I'll try to also post some videos that might make it a little easier, or some videos that are not mine, but some other videos that might make it a little easier as well. As for work that's going to be done this week, of course, we have the discussion board, and as it is Wednesday, try to get those initial posts in by the end of the day today. We also have the ACT assessment. So I talked about this a little bit last week, and you did some of those practice tests. This is the real thing. This is the big deal. Well, don't worry too much about it, but this is actually the test that you're going to be doing. Now, again, as I said last week, don't worry too much about the end result. You're not expected to get 100 on this. And if you don't get 100 and you're like, oh my gosh, the world is falling. No, don't worry about that. Everyone's grade is curved upward, and frankly, it's curved pretty significantly. So the real most important thing for you to do is just to get through this, okay? Do the best you can. Take your time. Really take your time. But getting through it is the thing that's frankly most important, okay? Remember, this is part of the national certificate. It's our national kind of readiness certificate that you're going to be able to get at the end of your time here at Bryant Stratton, and this is one of those portions of it. Now, associated with the test itself is going to be a short reflection that you're going to write as well. Make sure you just follow the instructions and follow the prompts as closely as possible, because that's really how you earn the points on this reflection, is making sure you adhere to the instructions as closely as possible, because at the end of the day, I've got to grade it based on a rubric, and that rubric is going to be basically saying, did this student actually address the questions in this way? So make sure you're doing that, but be honest about it. I mean, if you're saying, gosh, I don't know what this whole ACT assessment really is worth, and I'm not sure if I like this, or you say I really liked it or I was really challenged, be honest, okay? Write what they ask you to write, but use your words, okay? Give your opinions. This is, after all, a reflection. So those are the two major things you're going to be doing this week, but don't forget the pause and practice exercises. There's some really, really good ones there. If you really want to be challenged with Excel, get in there. There's the Wherever Shoes one, which has some really crazy looking different kinds of charts and graphs for you to develop, and it's kind of fun, but it is challenging. There's also the sum, average, and if functions assignment, and that's a really, really good one, because that's going to get you into some of the more complex formulas. Now, there's something in the instructions, a couple of you brought this to my attention. We didn't change the instructions from last term because this used to be a graded assignment, and we put it into the pause and practice folder for this term. And so it says something about uploading it to Blackboard. Well, you're not going to be able to upload it to Blackboard. Now, I don't think there's a solution file in there right now. If you do go through it and you want me to check it out for you, just send it to me. You can share it with me. or you can just send it as an attachment if you're more comfortable with that. But definitely get through some of those or all of those pause and practice, because that's the kind of stuff that's really going to hone those skills when it comes to Excel. Those are the things that are really going to hopefully take you to that next level when it comes to Excel knowledge and Excel experience. So Excel is what we're doing this week. We're going to be wrapping it up soon. Next week, just a very short word on next week, we're going to be getting into PowerPoint. Next week is unique though. Next week, as always, it starts on Sunday and it ends on Saturday. But since this is a 7.5-week term, next Friday, week 7.5 begins. So there's actually a little overlap between 7 and 7.5 next week. Now I'll mention that again next week, but I just want to kind of tease that, just tell you about it, just so that it's on your radar screen. As always, folks, any questions, any comments, any concerns, you know where to find me. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to write on the boards. Thanks.